Hey guys, welcome back to STL TV Live. I'm Christia Parker, and still in the studio with me is Dr. Marvin Byrd, high school teacher, author extraordinaire. We were talking about your book, Make It Plain. Where can we locate this book?
The book is on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and also AuthorHouse.com. That's why I published it through.
Now, what made you decide to add author to your list of titles?
As I said before, the book is a compilation of my story and all the things that all the advice, information, and motivation that I've given to my students during my 7 years of teaching.
Wow.
And so,
how do your students react when you tell them the story? Do you tell them about you being on probation at college and things? How do they react to that? Because a lot of times they don't know what's real, you know?
Yeah, I actually lead with that story on the first day.
Wow.
The first day of every school year, I tell them that story because I want them to know me. You know, I want them to know where my heart is and that I am passionate about education and I actually care for them. And the book is for them, for those who may be struggling to understand, why do I have to make all these sacrifices in order to be successful? Why should I go the extra mile in order to be successful in high school? Because many students, including myself, when I was in high school, they live in the present. They don't think a whole lot about the future.
Wow. And so how do they react to you when you tell them the story?
Very surprised. Very surprised, and I get questions like, did you make it through, or did you get back in? And of course, obviously, I let them know I wouldn't be able to stand here in front of you if I didn't persevere and make my way through. And I definitely I try to inspire them to do what I did and persevere, because things inevitably they do get tough during the school year. And so I think it allows us to come a little bit closer, forms that relationship with me and my students, because they know that very intimate story about my life.
Now, I know you personally, and I remember seeing you always used to wear like suits to school. You were like, like you're maybe one of the only male teachers that wears suits like almost every day. Why is it important to have that kind of presence in high school? Right.
I think that it's important for students to see that. I think it's important for them to have something to strive for, and it's very professional as well. And I also think that it's important to act like who you want to be. And eventually, I would like to be an assistant principal, head principal, and eventually one day I'd like to be the head of a charter school.
Wow. That's so cool. So now, with the book, what is one key that you would give a student that's maybe watching and maybe kind of struggling? They don't have, you as a teacher, they don't have you there pushing them along, but they do need maybe one tip or key to help them kind of push through and persevere. What would you tell them?
Absolutely. Excuse me. I would tell them that there's no such thing as smart. I would tell them to eliminate that word from their vocabulary, because I believe that with effective effort, they can accomplish their goals. And they've got teachers who are there. Their job is to assist them and give them the proper feedback. And I think that, naturally, surely, there are people who can grasp a concept just like that, but that's not most of us. That definitely wasn't me. And so I would tell them, if I can tell them one thing, I would tell them, get rid of smart, because a lot of students use that as an excuse to not try. But with effective effort, I think all things are possible.
I like that phrase, effective effort. Now, is this book just for high school students? Is it for parents? Who's the book for?
It's amazing. My wife, my lovely wife, Tamara, I love you. She was my editor. She helped me edit the book, and she was going through it. She was so amazing. She was inspired by some of the things that were in there, because there's also quotes in there from famous people as well. And so, yes, surely,
it's
adults
for parents. Would you suggest parents read it with their student, or?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And coming very soon, there'll be a workbook to go along with it. So definitely, for the family time, sit around the fire, read my book.
Right, and we can find that book on Amazon.com. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Make it plain, guys. You make sure you want to go out and get that book on Amazon.com. Follow Mr. Byrd, Marvin Byrd on Twitter, and marvinbyrd.blogspot.com. Thank you again for being here. Remember, guys, to keep up with STL TV and all the great events going on around St. Louis, you got to friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can always catch us streaming live at stltv.net. If you really want to experience St. Louis, you have to watch STL TV. We're coming back with more shows, so don't go anywhere.